Hello, my name is Joe Barrett, and I'm the president of the Global Mobile Suppliers Association. GSA has been in operation since 1998, and now our executive board consists of Apple, Ericsson, Huawei, Intel, Nokia, Qualcomm, Samsung, and ZTE. And so we are representing those companies and others in the industry, as well as other members, and we have over 70 subscribers to our database, different companies from around the world, whether it's regulators, analyst companies, or other vendors in the industry. So I'd like to talk to you today about the global state of millimetric wave for 5G. But first of all, maybe a little bit more about what GSA does. So again, we've been representing the industry since 1998. We are researching and providing reports, free industry reports on various topics in 4G, 5G devices and different parts of the industry, including private networks, fixed wireless access. So our extensive research feeds into a unique industry database we call Gambod. It's a member and associate benefit. They get access to all the detail behind our reports and can filter search and do their own analysis of the industry data. We have probably the largest spectrum group in the industry, over 150 participants from our member companies who are advocating mobile spectrum to be released for mobile services, providing education and support for consultations from regulators and other industry bodies. And we have focused working groups, including a fixed wireless access forum, promoting fixed wireless access industry activities, private mobile networks, and other marketing teams. If you want more information, please go and see the website, gsacom.com. So millimetric wave, rollout is happening now, already around the world. You can see that 26, 28 gigahertz has been the main deployment. That's 186 operators in 48 countries have now rolled out millimetric wave spectrum for 5G in 26 to 28, 37 to 48 gigahertz, and 47 to 48 gigahertz, which we call high band. We're also looking at super high band, frequencies above 48 gigahertz, and we will be reporting on those spectrum bands going forward as well for 5G and other technologies that are 3GPP compliant. At the moment, there are 134 operators in 23 countries and territories that hold licenses enabling millimetric wave deployment. Again, as I said, mostly in 26 to 28 gigahertz, but a growing number in those other bands. Commercially, 28 operators in 16 countries we've identified are actively deploying millimetric wave spectrum for 5G services. So growing activity now around the world. The key regions, North America and Europe and Asia for the 26-28 clearly, but also other regions of the world as well. Those three regions account for around about 75% of all deployments of the spectrum, but there are other countries and areas and regions that are also catching up. So we see millimetric wave has been a key 5G spectrum enabler. And there are many other countries and territories now also considering and planning millimetric wave spectrum assignments. You can see countries from Argentina, Mexico, Uruguay, New Zealand, Thailand, Vietnam, Austria, Germany, Montenegro, Netherlands, Norway. Again, multiple countries looking at deploying and making available spectrum in the millimetric wave band for 5G and other 3GPP technologies. This rollout will continue this year as we track spectrum assignments in our database, and we will see more and more spectrum assignments happening in 2022 that GSA will be following and reporting on. The device range is growing for millimetric wave. If we look at the number of announced devices from the vendors, 134 devices now have been announced. That's up from 22 at the beginning of 2021. Clearly, the N257, 258, 261 key bands, but also the higher bands. So N26, 260, 37 to 40 gigahertz, 56 devices already been announced. And this is making up just over 13% of all announced 5G devices that we are tracking. So again, positive deployment and development of announced devices to support millimetric wave. Commercially now, we see 85 devices that are in the market that you can buy today. That's up by 21 in total in 2021. So again, good growth that we've seen so far this year. 38 of these devices are phones. That's nearly 45% of all the commercial devices that we're seeing today. But that doesn't mean it's just phones. There are other devices as well, as we'll see shortly. And of all the devices that we are tracking in 5G, which now is close to 1,000 devices, so millimetric wave devices, over 13% of all commercial 5G devices. We expect 5G devices in total to broach 1,000 very shortly. So there is a very strong vendor ecosystem. 55 vendors have announced millimetric wave devices. The top 8 vendors account for nearly half of all those models announced. So the large and big companies are getting involved. Most of those are part of GSA promoting this spectrum group, the spectrum band. Chips have been available for a while from the 4 main vendors, plus we've just announced the 5th. So that shows good progress, shows good commitment to these spectrum bands, as we've seen networks being rolled out. But also, if you look at the data, indoor and outdoor CPE account for around 30% of all announced devices, where phones are nearly 30% of all the models. So again, we're seeing very strong growth of the ecosystem, of frequencies being rolled out, operators deploying spectrum for commercial services, and continued growth in this segment of the industry that is looking at deploying 5G in this high band spectrum. So that's just a quick run round of what is actually happening today that GSA is reporting on in millimetric wave and 5G. Please go to the website if you want to get more information. With that, I thank you very much. And if you have any questions, please email us. You can get hold of myself at joe.barrett@gsacom.com or directly to our research team at research@gsacom.com. Thank you.